Hi, I'm Todd Bingham with Willow Real Estate. Thank you for tuning in to the March of 2022 market report for the Grapevine Colleyville area. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and go full screen here. Really over the past year, there has been an insane amount of growth. And this is really, we're seeing this almost everywhere across the country. Maybe not to this exact percentage point of 19.2, almost 20%, but the median price in Grapevine Colleyville ISD has changed by almost 20% in just a single year. Now, to give you an idea of where that growth occurred, as with almost everything, there is a bell curve that can be applied here. There are no homes in this area really to speak of that are listed between that sold between zero to all the way up to about $200,000. I think started somewhere in that 225 to 230 range about a year ago, but that price of home really didn't experience this same tremendous growth. Now, what really did is this: if you were in the sweet spot of around $400,000 to $500,000 of where your home was valued at last year around this time, then you experienced 31.6% growth in value. Now, obviously, there are so many variables there at play. We're dealing with averages, and so there are, some that are going to be considerably less, and potentially some that are even more than that. But just imagine that in a single 12-month period, your investment grew, on average, if you're within that 400 to 500K area, it grew by 31 to 32%. That is amazing. Now, the other people between 500 and 750, those homes went up by 26.3%. Another huge leap. I mean, this is amazing. If somebody were to walk up to me and say today, give me $500,000 and I promise you I will grow that number by 26% or 31% in the next 12 months, then, that'd be a really dumb investment to avoid. Now, again, with the bell curve, as we kind of exceed 750 and go higher, it's looking about like 10.5%, almost 11% there. So anyways, really exciting news for these people that own homes between 400 all the way up to 750. That is just tremendous growth. Now, one of the things driving this growth is just the lack of listings. So we are down almost 41% whenever we compare this time between last year. So think about that for a moment. There is almost there's just half as many homes as there were even a year ago for sale at this time. So with that said, that has of course slowed down the amount of sales happening. So we're only at 25% of the amount of sales from last year at this time frame. And that's an amazingly low number, and that is partially responsible. I would say more than partially. That is a huge majority of why these prices have soared, is just due to scarcity of inventory. So there's that. Now, days on market, look, surprisingly, it has stayed very similar. I think the truth is it still takes about the same time to close on a loan as it did a year ago. We've had no major technological impacts that have just sped everything up by a huge amount. So, roughly 66 days, right? This is pretty common. I will say, whenever I look at that days on market of 35, I don't really see that. And maybe that happened in January. Now we're in February, or I'm sorry, early March. I think a lot of this data, there's a lag on it, right? As we run it through processing and everything, and we are kind of waiting on it all to come in. I don't have data from March yet. I don't have data from really February yet. That will be coming out soon. But I anticipate that days on market part, this 35 right here, that's going to be lower. In reality, the majority of these homes I see, they're lucky if they even stay. Well, not lucky, but the buyers are lucky if it even gets to stay on market for 7 days. I'm seeing many homes go under contract in 1 or 2 days. So this months of inventory, it's kind of tied to the active listings part. We just don't have any. As you can tell, there's just no inventory. You've heard the stories whenever you go and look, and we realize that there's 41% less listings, and of course we don't have the inventory there. So there is another cool thing I wanted to show really quick. Let's see, let me minimize this. This is just a little more detail. Okay, so this shows a little bit better numbers. It's not comparing year over year. It's actually showing kind of a monthly update, and it actually has more current numbers than the infographic that I just had loaded. So this is showing 23 days on market. To me, that is much closer to the actual trend. In my opinion, the trend, if we eliminate the outliers, it's really down, it gets down to like 10, 11 days. That's kind of the average, at least for Willow Real Estate and what I'm seeing with my agents. Days to close, 27. That's 8 days less than December of 2020. So that is really common. We have some great loan partners, in fact, that can get you closed within about 14 or 15 days, which is absurd if you think about it. The amount of work that goes into getting a loan closed. A lot of this, by the way, this timing stuff involves you, the consumer. Whenever you're going to buy, and a lot of times the biggest thing that holds up the entire loan process is you. And that's because it's hard to find these documents. It's hard to find some of the tax stuff they need. It's hard to find pay stubs and how do you upload them and all that kind of stuff. You need to be with somebody who makes that really, really simple. I have a great partner that we've been working with that is just truly impressive. It's easier than, I don't know, TurboTax, right? It looks better than TurboTax too, honestly, if you've ever used that. But anyway, so total days, to go from the day that you pull the trigger and list to the day you're closing is about 50 days. I think that's really accurate. Maybe 45, something like that. It depends on a couple of different variables, right? If you overprice, then add on double that, right? Go to 100. But anyways, a few of the other really interesting interesting things here in Grapevine Colleyville ISD. The median price per square foot is $222. That's up 24.5% year over year. That's amazing. Truly amazing. I remember back, I bought my first home about, I don't know, it was like 20 years ago, something like that. I think we paid something like $76 per square foot, and now here we are all the way up to $222. Impressive. Median home sales or median home size is 2363. The average year built is 1986. I think that's important. This is looking, by the way, at existing homes. So if I make a really quick switch to new construction, watch how these numbers change. So in Grapevine Colleyville, we went from that median price in the fives to all the way up to 693. That's based on really, not a whole lot of sales, right? We're kind of landlocked. We're running out of areas to build in, and we're running out of a whole lot of that stuff. So average day on market for a new construction in Grapevine Colleyville ISD is 3 days. That's it. So pretty much if you're a builder and you can build a home, then man, it's gonna sell in our area, and it just gives you an idea. It's hard to find new stuff, so that's why I had it sitting here on existing. And this is really it. So in the recent let's see, market of December, there was only 78 sales in the entire district. And this includes some of Hearst too, right? By the way, so just right there on 26, there's a few areas. I think some of Southlake might be in Grapevine Colleyville ISD. So it's not just Grapevine and Colleyville. And if you don't know this area very well, there's a few other sections of other cities that do that. So in December there was actually 42 active listings, and there was only 0.5 months of inventory. So that's down. That's really actually similar to last December. We are right at the precipice of a huge jump. I think we're going to see a lot more inventory really hit in the next couple of weeks, and we're kind of going to be in the full swing of real estate again. It just seems like there's a little bit of lag with the inventory this year. I hope it's coming. I've heard, I have a bunch of agents that have a bunch of coming soons. So we as a company have several coming soons, and I think it's coming. It's going to happen. So anyways, that is the market update for this month. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out to us. Our office line is 469-324-4141. If you don't like using phones, like a ton of us, then please feel free. You can even text that number. You can message me through here, wherever you saw this video, and find that as well. And I would love to help you out. We have agents everywhere in this area. I've got agents in Austin, San Antonio, Houston. If you are somehow, for some reason, watching this video and you have a property to sell or you want to buy something in one of those areas, please reach out. And I would love to help you and connect with you and see what we can do for you. Thank you very much.